Welcome back to ARTFX Studios. You're watching a new video called Freebie Friday, in which I'm gonna talk about free VST plugins. I'm going to do one of these every single Friday, and I'm gonna be talking about free plugins that I like a lot, that I use a lot, and that I think you should get because they can definitely help you become a better producer. So let's get into it and let's do another trip through Audio World. Today I want to talk about a bundle of 3 plugins that are completely free, and they are by a company called HOFA plugins, and the bundle is called the HOFA For You bundle. So I've got the bundle loaded up and I've got a little clip right here that I want to show you. Now, that particular clip is a combination of 4 loops coming from the Thomas Penton Essential Series sample packs from Loopmasters. It's the volume 2, and you can get it at Loopmasters. I'll put a link to the product page in the description below this video. And I've put that in a group track, and on the group I've got a little bit of EQ and a little bit of compression. So these are the 3 plugins that I want to talk about today. We've got HOFA For You Project Time. This one. It's really cool. You've got your project and you can enter a name right there. So it's really just helpful to include that. And it will show you when you started the project and in what time. And it will also show you how long you're spending on the project so far. So that's really helpful. I mean, when you are spending 3 hours on a project and you've just made a kick drum, you can look at this and say like, okay, I spent 3 hours making this kick drum. Is that worth my time? And you might think, well, not really. But you might also have a project that took you about 30 minutes. And in those 30 minutes, you created a pretty good clip of about 20-30 seconds. Is that worth it? Well, definitely yes. So it's really helpful to sort of like keep track of your time and see how long you spend on a particular thing. And you can also offset the time. For instance, you are working together with somebody else and he's working on a different machine and he has already worked 3 hours on this project. I fill in 3 right here. Maybe he has worked 3 hours and 10 minutes. I do that. Hit OK and it will immediately change the time. So that's really helpful. I can pause it, for instance if I'm going to take a coffee break. And those things are just really helpful to keep track of your time and how much you're spending on a particular thing. Now, another cool thing about this is it's not just this. I like this plugin the most for when I'm either doing collaborations or when I'm doing paid work. And I'm going to show you why. If I go to show log, you can see right here I've got a couple of different things. It will show you each individual session that you have been working on this project. And I can add a comment. For instance, I can say, made drums. And in this section, I'm doing the bass. So I can keep track of whatever I'm doing and it will show me exactly what I've done during the past sessions. So for instance, when you're doing paid work and you're getting paid for each individual hour you spend on a project, then you can keep track of the time you spend on each project right here, and you can even copy all these details to the clipboard, paste them in a document, in a text file, send them to your client, and they will easily be able to see what you've done and when you've done it. So that's really helpful. Same goes for collaborations. If you are doing collaborations with somebody and you basically just want to let the other producer know what you've done in the last session, include this plugin, tell him he needs to get the plugin as well, and he can just see what you've done and he can continue on from that. So yeah, I really like it and I should definitely get it if I was you. Now, it's not really a tool that's going to help you make better music. It's more of like a tool that's going to help you keep track of what you're doing. So then on to the next one is the HOFA For You Meter Vader. And this one is really helpful. It is basically a volume meter right here. You've got 2 peak meters, one on the left and one on the right. And you've got a EBU loudness meter. Now the EBU loudness meter is really similar to a RMS metering system, although it is slightly different, and I think it does give you a pretty good view of how loud your things are. And if I play this, you see, we can see how loud things are. And the cool thing about this plugin itself is that it comes with a whole bunch of other stuff as well, because it also has a very dedicated panning section. The first thing I need to say, right here, we've got our panning section. So I can change the left and right panning. If I move this up, listen what happens. Now our sound is almost completely mono, and I can change the phases of the left and right channel individually, which is really helpful. And it goes further than just left and right, because you can see it also has mid and side on the top and bottom. So that's really helpful, because what you then can do, I can make things wider, I must say. So, for instance, let's say that this is not wide enough. What I can do is I can change this to, let's say, a little bit more to the wide sections. And that will widen up our signal, which is really helpful. I'm not really on a full mix like this, but you get what I mean. You can put this on a synth, and you can make that synth a little bit wider. That's definitely helpful. Double click these arrows to put them back to the default position, and yeah, that's just a great tool to have. You've got your volume meter right here, your volume slider. Around the 0 decibel setting, you have really fine control, and the more you go up or down, the control becomes much less fine. So that's pretty good. I mean, around 0 dB is definitely where you want to have your fine controls. And next to that, you get a whole bunch of different settings. The first knob, called stereo, right now it's set up in stereo mode, so we're treating the left and right signal together. And when I set this to mid-side, what happens is the left channel becomes the mid channel, and the right channel becomes the side channel. So what I would want to do now is set this to center, and this one to the sides, like that. Let's see. And we still get the same kind of thing, but when they're at the default position, listen. So now on the left side, you can see we have much more volume than on the right side, and that's because the left side is the mid signal and the right side is the side signal. Pretty helpful, and you can use that to create some interesting stuff. Then we have a phase knob, which basically just flips the phase of the left and right channel. Really helpful to check out possible phase issues. This one shows you whether the meter is post or pre these effects. I would set it to post because you want to see how loud things are after it runs through these effects, but you can use pre as well to measure the input levels. Now, the next button is basically just a mono switch. Now, mono switches are definitely great. When you are using this panning stuff, it might happen that you lose a lot of context in the mid section, and what that means is then when your sound is going to be played on a mono system, you're going to lose a lot of sound. And you can check out how your sound sounds after you've done some panning by using this mono switch. So for instance, I'm gonna make this a little bit wider. Let's just do that. Let's play this. Do it like that. Let's play this. And let's check this in mono. So you can hear in mono it definitely sounds a little bit different. Then finally we've got a mute output, but just does nothing more than that. That's it for this plugin. I really like this one as well. It's definitely a great thing to have. And the next one in their bundle is the Gono Meter. Now this one basically shows you a visual presentation of your panning and your spatial information. If I play this, you can see how much information is in the mids, how much information is in the sides by looking at the top and bottom. And you can look at the left and right to see how much signal I'm getting in both the left and right channel. I can reset it by double clicking and it will keep updating. If I add something. And the cool thing about this is you can really see what happens when I start using the panning in the Meter Vader plugin. Let's make this mono. So right now you can see we've made this completely mono, and right now you can see we've completely pushed this into the sides, and we're almost losing the kick drum right now, because the kick drum is pretty much a mono signal. Really interesting. So yeah, that's it. These 3 plugins, you can get them at the HOFA website. I'm gonna put a link to there in the description below this video. And these plugins are available for Windows and Mac, and they're available for both 32-bit and 64-bit. So that's really helpful. I hope you can use these plugins, that you like them. I want to thank all you guys for subscribing to this channel. We've been having a great time in the past 2 years, and we're now at 24,000 subscribers. I really want to thank you for that. You guys don't realize how much that means for me. I really like that. I will thank you guys for that. I'm gonna do a lot more videos. Believe me, this upcoming summer is gonna be insane. And yeah, other than that, I want you guys to notice that you can follow me on social media. Follow, like, subscribe, whatever on all these channels. And I hope to speak to you guys there. You can also come to my website, where I have a whole bunch of other stuff and a forum with a community about music production, where you can talk to other music producers and other viewers of my channel. Yeah, other than that, I just hope you have a great time, and I hope you like this video. And I'll see you back soon. Peace!